I'm Janae Town, and I am your MC for the awards banquet, so welcome everyone. The mission, a lot of you are already aware of the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit, is to bring businesses of diverse backgrounds together to share, to learn, and to celebrate the immigrant entrepreneurship experience and contribution to the overall community. The summit will exhibit the success stories of immigrant entrepreneurs, create understanding among different groups, ethnic groups, share business growth tips among immigrant business owners, and the keys to success by working with immigrant populations are shared in a creative, competitive, and supportive environment. There have been 179 new companies formed with the help of IES in 2020, totaling more than 1,800 new companies formed since 2008. Yes, that's definitely something to celebrate. All right, so we have some important people here today. Of course, all of you are important with your presence, but we would like to acknowledge Ambassador Terry Branstad, who is here today with us. Thank you, Ambassador. How about any previous winners from other entrepreneur summits? Any other previous winners? Please stand so we can recognize you. Welcome back. There's a lot of work that goes into making this happen, of course, so we would like to thank all of the sponsors. The executive sponsor, Wells Fargo and Community CPA, eTech City and US Bank as partner sponsors. Entrepreneur sponsors include Greater Des Moines Partnership, Iowa Economic Development Authority, and Iowa SourceLink, Lincoln Savings Bank, Polk County Board of Supervisors, and Two Rivers Bank and Trust. Our business advocate sponsors include American Equity Investment Life Insurance Company, Bankers Trust, Terra International, Principal Financial, and Bursma Insurance Services. The hosts, of course, DMAC, Des Moines Area Community College, and WHO TV. Governor Kim Reynolds is not able to join us in person today, but she has prepared some remarks for you to greet you. So I would ask you to please direct your attention to the screen for the governor's message.
Hello, I'm Governor Kim Reynolds, and I am thrilled to have the opportunity to welcome you to the 2021 Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit. From ethnic grocery stores and restaurants to professional services, high-tech manufacturing, and online companies, dynamic immigrant-owned businesses play a valuable role in Iowa communities and states across our nation. Research shows that immigrants are more likely to start a business than native-born. While they account for less than 14% of the United States population, 20% of immigrants are self-employed and 25% have launched a startup business. According to a 2018 study, they have founded or co-founded 55% of America's billion-dollar companies, including Pfizer and Moderna. It should come as no surprise that immigrants embody the entrepreneurial spirit. Starting out fresh in a new country requires the same qualities that lie at the heart of entrepreneurship. As immigrants, you took risk, you sought out opportunities, you planned, you invested in the future. And I'm happy to say that in Iowa, immigrant entrepreneurs have found the right place to call home. We're lucky to have a range of vibrant civic organizations that empower you to thrive in communities across our state. And as governor, I've had multiple opportunities to see some in action. Last year, I visited All Cultures Equal in Webster City, which received a Rural Innovation Grant to build a commercial kitchen that could be rented by aspiring entrepreneurs wanting to establish a catering business. This year, I met with La Luz, a cultural organization in Hampton, providing education, family support, and civic engagement for the local immigrant population. Groups like these can be found throughout our state, and they play such a vital role. Iowa has also been recognized as the #1 state in the nation for opportunity. Our recovery from COVID-19 is the fastest in America, and we have one of the lowest costs of doing business nationwide. And we're working to make our economy even more business-friendly than it already is. Earlier this year, we passed landmark tax reform, and we plan to cut taxes even further next year. We've also focused on developing our workforce through education and job training to ensure that Iowans are equipped with the skills businesses need. Here in Iowa, I'm confident you'll find welcoming communities, safe neighborhoods, and an ideal environment for you to pursue your slice of the American dream. And I'm equally confident that you'll find this summit the perfect place to get started. Since 2008, more than 1,800 companies have been established by participants in the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit within just 1 year of attending. And that's because it allows you to build relationships, learn strategies, and lay the foundation for a flourishing business in our state. So thank you for attending, and I wish you an enjoyable and productive day.
A big thank you to Governor Reynolds and the state of Iowa for its continued support of entrepreneurship. Today, I'm happy to announce our keynote speaker. Jana Stockman is a first-generation entrepreneur. She moved away from her hometown in the Ukraine, intent on pursuing her passion for psychology, and came to the U.S. to learn more about social services and counseling. Her journey and the transitions in her life had led to her passion for coaching entrepreneurs and creatives to gain clarity, develop strategies, and an action plan while navigating through life transitions. She helps entrepreneurs make an impact in the world by reaching their next level of success in life and in business. Please join me in welcoming to the stage, Jana Stockman.
First thing, so you can hear me. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I'm truly honored and humbled standing here in the front of you. I want to thank Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit for giving me this opportunity to make all of this possible, Catherine and the team. And I want to acknowledge all of you for finding time to be here, to learn, to get inspired, and to celebrate your successes. Yes, nowadays we have to make time to celebrate. I remember packing my suitcase, trying to fit in everything that I thought was important in my life in one suitcase and one backpack. I had one-way ticket to the United States, leaving my home country, Ukraine, and faced with unique opportunity getting offered a job as a counseling therapist. And I was challenged to put everything that I thought was important in my life in a 50-pound bag. So by now you should all wonder, how did it all fit in? And standing at the airport, waving my mom goodbye and holding in my hand that one-way ticket, I felt so nervous and biting my lip and tried to not to get embarrassed in the front of immigration officer. I wasn't sure when I'm gonna see my family next time. And sitting on the plane and looking outside of that window, I asked myself, did I pack enough? No, just kidding. The true question to myself was, am I enough? Am I enough to start my life from scratch? Am I enough? Do I even have enough education? Will I make an impact in the world? Will I relate to this culture? Could I sustain myself financially? Could I even pronounce the word mosquito without embarrassing myself with my accent? Yes, it was a long 13-hour flight, so I had time to think. I began working as a therapist, later become an event coordinator, help people put together their big life events, then financial assistant, then language interpreter. However, deep down, I had that nudging voice inside of me that was asking for a change. Change of a career where I can make an impact, make a difference, and work alongside with someone who is ambitious, driven leader who lead their team on their path to success. But that would require courage to make that leap and be alongside with those great human beings. And it would require commit to full-time risk, and it would require for me to start looking for investors and by starting my own business could leave me actually vulnerably, emotionally and financially. And I remember the moment when I sent that resignation letter to my employer. I had no backup plan, my marriage was in a breakdown, and I felt again like that little girl on the plane. This time she was asking herself that question, will I fail if I start my own business? See, where we want to admit or not, we're all emotional beings, and often we make our decisions based on our emotional responses to our past stories, where we come from and what we accomplished, to our present realities and current world changes, and to our future self, what should we become, our future expectations. I knew I was ready to make a change, and this time to the life as an entrepreneur. I pivoted from being a therapist and become an international clarity coach, impacting entrepreneurs, leaders, and business owners on 4 continents. After making a decision and accept that risk, and we all know higher risk means cut the odds to success. First time ever, and that moment, I want to tell the world, look, if I was able to become a first-generation entrepreneur, have every single story, every single reason not to become one and not to be here right now, then challenge me and give me one reason. What could possibly stop you to start your own business, to step into your power, to become that business owner, best partner, and do what you love? Because it's simply a mindset, the way we show up in the world. Especially ask yourself a question, what does it all in really mean to you? When I ask myself that question, I don't know what I will be doing if not what I am right now. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And when change affects our blueprint of success, we have a great opportunity to create our own successful blueprint. Change is something we couldn't stop, so we must create an opportunity and learn from it. I thought starting my own business is very hard and scaling even harder. The next pivotal moment was for me to invest in my own business. Now, without the story, growing up in minimum income family, we as kids were reminded that we are not a Rockefellers and money doesn't grow on trees. So growing my own business means that I must delegate my tasks, hire a support team, to reach that next level of success and the growth of my business. And that helped me actually let go my another story, that I can do it myself. As a solopreneur, many of you would relate, I can do myself better. Because I find, and you would relate, that entrepreneurship journey could be an isolating experience. And finding the way to bring others to your world, partner, collaborate, share your message, connect to your audience, could bring you far along and build the bridges to the outside world. And yes, entrepreneurship does take a lot of hard work. And there's going to be many phases where you would sprint, retreat, work countless hours, even declare a breakdown to propel. And I don't think I built my own business. My practice built me, because you all know you can only take your clients and customers as far as you're willing to go. Ironically enough, I actually had everything I need in that suitcase. I had my talents, my education, my experience, leaving Ukraine, and maybe I actually will be 50 pounds lighter if I will declutter all of those limitations, doubts, and actually have some courage, inspiration, and reminders where I come from. The reason why I'm sharing this with you, because those stories could actually inspire and fulfill us, the stories about ourselves and those limitations. And actually, I'm still keep that suitcase as a reminder of where I'm come from. And that little girl in me right now, smiling, that girl being on the plane, being humble to stand in the front of you because you could inspire me right now. And you actually create a change and make a difference in the world. And if my job, if my role here to stand and remind you about it, please do what you do and don't give up. Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit promotes diversity. And from a personal traveling experience of over 30 countries, the farther I was from home, the more connected I was to the people. Because we all strive to the same things for safety, belonging, and love. And I sincerely believe that the world right now needs us entrepreneurs to shine. And by bringing your greatest effort to work, to propel, to succeed, so you can feel purpose-driven on the path to achieving your goals so you can accomplish those entrepreneurship dreams. And in the end of the day, those long hours when we're in doubt, ask yourself, what does it took for you to start your own business from scratch? What does it took to build your company from the ground up that now impacting thousands, hundreds, dozens? Thank you so much for this opportunity, and congratulations to all your successes.
Thank you, Jana, for those inspiring and encouraging words and challenging us to think what we would pack in our own suitcases. So it is time to present the U.S. Bank and Immigrant Entrepreneur Leadership Award. To do that, Mike Hellick from U.S. Bank will be doing the honors of presenting. As he makes his way up to the stage, I want to read the selection criteria for this award. The Immigrant Entrepreneurs Leadership Award recognizes a first-generation immigrant who has demonstrated leadership and an entrepreneurial spirit in his or her profession and family life, and on behalf of the immigrant and or his or her larger community. The honoree possesses an ability to mobilize others and is regarded as a community leader.
Good afternoon, everyone, and it feels so good to be at this wonderful event once again, in person. No offense to Zoom, but being live again afforded me the opportunity to put on real clothes again. And part of my goal, because I knew Ambassador Branstad was going to speak today, I wanted to make sure that I came close to almost looking as good as the ambassador, and I do think my pants match, although you're getting the Zoom view of me. But I'm really, really pleased that we're getting back to hopefully some sense of normalcy. U.S. Bank has been a proud, continuous supporter of the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit since its inception over 12 years ago. I mean, that's incredible for me to think back. It's been over 12 years. Thanks to Ying Saw for her vision with the summit. That's education, that's networking, and that's important, as our keynote, Jana, mentioned. It's about celebration as well. Why is supporting IES important to me and to U.S. Bank? We're asked to comment on that. And for me, small business and the spirit of the entrepreneur really are the backbone of this country. Small business may not always get the recognition of some of its larger counterparts, yet they create 2/3 of the new jobs in the country and deliver nearly 45% of GDP. In addition to keeping the economy running, small businesses also lead the way in innovation. We have seen a lot of that innovation in COVID and need to keep that going. Small business produces 16 times more patents per employee than large firms, just as a small example. Smaller businesses may have the odds stacked against them, yet continue to thrive. They bring jobs, revenue to local economies by employing people, creating product, paying sales and property taxes, using local vendors, and supporting services, all of whose benefits funnel back to their communities. The people in this room, you, are also the real story. As we all know, the journey of 1,000 miles must begin with that first step, then the next one, and then the next one. There are many building blocks and sometimes roadblocks on the success journey. The stories of success we will hear today, really, they're inspiring. You know, as I mentioned, we've been doing this for 12 years, and you see some common faces. So some of you might be at step 1 or step 2. Some of you are at step 50,000. It's that journey, because I don't think you ever get to the success as a destination. Success is always a journey. So of course, we want to be a part of that journey. Business is always grounded in find an unfilled need and then fill it. Pretty simple statement, right? And that leads to many of the new businesses that I'm hearing about even in the room today. But it's not without sweat, it's not without equity, it's not without perseverance. And I see some of your heads going, yeah, you know, that's true, and I understand that. And that's that sense of perseverance that I love. So while COVID has certainly wreaked havoc on our personal and professional lives, one of the good byproducts is learning how to do things differently and interacting with each other differently. Business innovates and adapts to the new environment, and it's created many opportunities. As I mentioned on the front end, we might be tired of Zoom, but I wasn't even familiar with Zoom 18 months ago, and now I run board meetings and we interact with our customers and we support our customers digitally, so I've had to think, you know, differently. So this is really what I love about the summit, meeting new people, listening to the new ideas, as I've already heard over lunch today, and then celebrating those of you who have made a difference in our community, in your communities, in your industry, and with your families. Thank you for allowing us to be a part. And now to learn more of our first honoree, please direct your attention to these screens once again for a video presentation on Kalyan Venkatraman, KV.
Even though he was born and raised in a small village near Chennai, India, Kalyan Venkatraman, KV, had big dreams of becoming an entrepreneur.
In 10th grade, actually, I started my first business. It got closed after 3-4 months because 10th grade is a big exam that decides, your future.
After graduating with a degree in engineering from Annamalai University, he got a job as a software engineer. In 1998, he was sent by his company to Jacksonville, Florida, and moved to Des Moines 2 years later to work for John Deere.
The whole idea at the time was to come to the Midwest, file for a green card, get the green card. As soon as we get it, we move back to Jacksonville, Florida. It's been 18 years, and we are still here.
Over the next few years, he transitioned from software engineering to IT consulting and decided to complete an MBA with the University of Iowa before launching his own staffing business in 2004.
I came with 2 suitcases and with $100 in my pocket. So the whole idea is that, what do I have to lose here?
He was able to say, what does the business need from me, rather than what do I need to do for the business?
Today, KV is a dynamic entrepreneur with more than 20 years of progressive experience in construction, staffing, and information technology.
Immigrants tend to be fearless because they've already left a lot behind. So the fearlessness showed up in not just following one passion, but multiple passions and succeeding in both.
So I'm always able to pivot depending upon where the situation presented. So it's all about being okay with ambiguity.
Grateful for the mentorship he received from others, KV has held various leadership roles within the Iowa chapter of Entrepreneurs Organization.
Entrepreneurs Organization have provided a lot more learning personally and professionally.
KV has been able to garner and contribute tremendous insight, wisdom, and judgment through his involvement and leadership in EO.
That has been really a valuable network that I have tapped time and time again. As an entrepreneur, you have a lot of blind spots. I have an MBA, but I learned a lot actually from other entrepreneurs in the last 10 years, interacting with them. Then what I learned, 3 years of doing MBA.
His unique drive to excel is matched by a remarkable compassion and generosity. Both are exceeded only by his absolute devotion to his wife, Karvita, and their 2 children, Krishna and Cooter.
My wife has been a tremendous support. She has always made sure that the kids actually feel inclusive. But now I have actually definitely moved from being in the business to on the business.
KV maintains his work-life balance that nourishes his mind, body, and soul. Family time includes earning a black belt in Kung Fu with his daughter and coaching his children's robotics teams.
I've seen him not only coach the kids, but then teach them to think for the future.
KV is just incredibly supportive of whatever we want to do. He's all in it for his kids and all in it for all of our children.
He also helped establish the Iowa Tamil Association and has completed numerous marathons.
A lot of my good ideas and decisions actually made on the road while I'm running. The training actually helped me to realize that the business is a lot like a marathon.
With a legacy to enrich the community that has welcomed and nurtured him, KV's audacious optimism, ambition, and determination has been the foundation in building and sharing his American dream.
Here he was, a young businessman and a parent of young children who said, I want to give to my community right while I am growing my own business. That spirit of giving is what led me to say, this person is a leader rather than just a follower. He wasn't just growing his business, he was in effect growing dozens of other businesses.
This country is full of opportunities. If you can't do it here, you can't do it anywhere else actually.
For his bold vision and remarkable accomplishments centered on building a robust business, nurturing a loving family, and engaging a resilient community, Kurlian Venkatraman is recipient of the 2021 Immigrant Entrepreneur Leadership Award.
Please now join me in welcoming KV to the stage to accept this year's Immigrant Entrepreneur Leadership Award.
Honorable Governor Branstad, the IES board members, the award committee, the volunteers, the sponsors of this great summit, my family and friends, and all my fellow immigrant brothers and sisters, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for being here today. I am extremely honored and humbled to receive this award. Congratulations to all the other award recipients today. I want to thank my friend Tej Dhawan, who nominated me for this award. Thank you again. I want to thank my current and past employees of Cerebral Staffing. Thank you to all my Entrepreneurs Organization forum members who taught me valuable lessons and shared their knowledge for our company's success and my personal growth. And I want to thank my parents who gave me love, support, education, and also encouraged me when I started my first business with a friend at the age of 14. I want to dedicate this award to my grandfather, Jagannathan, who was an orphan and was forced to drop out of elementary school due to poverty. He's the one who showed me that hard work is the only way to succeed in life, even if you are born poor. Also, I want to dedicate this award to my wonderful wife, Kavita, who's here today. Who has been the pillar of our family. She supported me when I quit my full-time job 2 weeks before my son was born. I never had to worry about putting food on the table because she made sure that she always have a stable job to support all of us. She sacrificed her career and personal goals while I was chasing my dream of becoming a successful entrepreneur with several failed ventures along the way. to my wife and kids, thank you so much for putting up with the several ups and downs of my entrepreneurial journey and providing me the continuous support and love. Since I started the company in 2004, we now have grown to over 115 employees located in 15 different states. If you want to start your own business or already running a small business and would like to grow big, I want to share these top 3 lessons that I learned, which I wish I had learned years ago. Number 1, the 18 months rule. If you are starting a business today, you will not gain traction for approximately 18 months. If you're still struggling and not gaining traction by end of 18 months, you need to seriously take a deeper look at your product or service that you're offering, or consider closing and move on, because you will have plenty of other better opportunities that you can work on down the line. Being an owner of a small business is tough and lonely at the top, and you cannot share your problems and struggles with your employees, friends, family members, or partner if you have one. So seek a mentor or join a peer networking group like Entrepreneurs Organization. I learned more from my mentors and Entrepreneurs Organization forum members than what I learned from my MBA classes. Read the book Traction by Gino Wickman and implement the EOS model that is explained in that book, no matter how big or small your company is. To all the current and future entrepreneurs who are attending the summit, I am looking forward to celebrating your success with you soon. And I wish you all the best and good luck. Thanks again.
Once again, congratulations to KV on the success of your hard work. I'd like to now invite Iowa Economic Development Authority's Jill Lippincott, the team leader for innovation and apprenticeship, to the stage. She will be introducing the Outstanding Immigrant Business Award. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Outstanding Immigrant Business Award. It recognizes an immigrant-owned business, at least 50% ownership by a first-generation immigrant. That business serves as a model and inspiration of success in both profits and in philanthropy. The honoree utilizes business strategies that carry a mission of community investment and civic engagement, while also providing a healthy profit margin.
So good to be here. As Ying said this morning, you can feel the chemistry in the room. And we are proud to be a sponsor of today's event because it is our pleasure to connect with business owners. That's truly the aspect of our work that means the most to us. That we get to work directly with business owners at IEDA and listen to their dreams and support those dreams becoming a reality. Whether that's at the very beginning of your journey. We've talked with several business owners today who have said, I have an idea. It's right here. We've talked with you about the targeted small business loans. We've talked with business owners about Iowa SourceLink because you have a business and you're looking to grow it. We've talked with innovative entrepreneurs who might be looking at our Innovation Continuum funds. We never expected to find ourselves in the situation that we did this last year. COVID, derecho, but we will never stop listening, no matter whether it's the dream in your head, or you're growing your business, or you're receiving an award, or you're standing on the stage. At any part of your journey, we will be here. We were tired this last year. I think our fellow IEDA folks can say, anytime we felt like it was getting to be long, we looked at all of you. We looked at Ying. Ying was actually a part of our group leading the charge to tell us how to respond because you were all working a lot harder to keep your businesses open than we were. So you were the ones that inspired us to keep working, and it's those stories that kept us going, which is why we continue to sponsor this event, because those stories of grit and endurance are the trademark of the immigrant community. And that diverse community is also what makes Iowa the place where people want to be. It's why we're very proud that this summit was created in Iowa. The fact that it has grown beyond our state's borders is incredible, but it started here because of the leadership and community here. Our diverse ecosystem of business owners are doing amazing things and make incredible contributions to their community. And Minton is an example of that, and everything that this summit stands for. So please direct your attention to the screen for a video presentation on Minton of Golden Land Food Market.
Min Tet Toon left his home in Burma after graduating high school. He was just 16 when he left everything behind to look for work in Malaysia. And another 13 years went by before he finally was granted refugee status and resettled to Des Moines in 2007. Min met his wife Loom now, 2 years later, and realized that he had found his life partner.
You know, you have that really wonderful dynamic where they really complement each other, and they also are out in the community talking and building relationships, and the relationship is really, you know, conversations. You always see them together. It's a really great dynamic.
Despite humble beginnings, Min envisioned a brighter future for himself, his family, and his community. He opened a small Burmese grocery store in 2010 while still working full-time at Keystone. And Loom opened a beauty salon next door in 2011.
It's a very good combination that I think they do that. They have very brilliant idea on doing this business together.
Their business flourished. At the same time, their family expanded to include 3 children: Bless, age 11, Hosanna, age 9, and Omega, who is 6 years old.
We understand each other, so helping each other. She the one to support me so many times. After she opened the salon, and me and her take care of baby each other. So if she have a client, I go get the baby and take care of baby at the shop.
I think he is doing very well on balancing life, because when you have a good heart, it shows in your character and the outcome of your life.
Today, Golden Land Food Market is a multicultural grocery store that unites patrons with foods and flavors of Asian, African, and Hispanic origin, while Amazing Beauty Salon, located right next door, attracts a loyal clientele from throughout central Iowa. Min employs refugees from several Burmese ethnic groups and mentors and encourages them to improve their own lives.
He's really thinking, how can I bring on someone to work at my store who I can help encourage to go to school and move on? How can I do things in the community that really is coming from a place of gratitude?
I think when you're open-minded, you can, mingle and do things with everyone. I think that's how he is doing so well in the community.
That's what makes him so special.
For him, business is not just about feeding his family. It gives him the means to help bring hope and resiliency to his community.
He put trust in the people. That's why people trust him back.
The culture is very important. So if we have a little Burma town in here, so it is good for everyone.
Min and Loom believe that their success and well-being is intertwined with their hardworking and dedicated employees and the immigrant community that supports their businesses.
When the Myanmar military had a crackdown in February, he was the first person to call to say, what are we gonna do? He was able to talk to all the different ethnic groups and say, what can we do together? From the protest we had at the Capitol building to the fundraiser, he was really looking to build community.
From youth soccer tournaments to humanitarian aid fundraisers for refugees in Burma, Min devotes considerable financial support as well as time and leadership to serve his community in Iowa and in Myanmar.
Always I was thinking about everybody together. So that means good for the young kid, so they can participate, and then all the family we can do together. We can get the Burmese food in there, and we can watch a game, and we can enjoy that.
He recently secured a loan for his next business venture, a Burmese restaurant that will be called Mingar Larbar.
The desire of the restaurant was to bring the flavor of Burmese to not only the Burmese population in Iowa, but to introduce that new flavor to the rest of us.
I want to share in Iowa. I want to introduce you with the Burmese food.
He has this deep desire to give back. He's going to make it work.
Min exudes the calm, confidence, and determination that have been the hallmark of his success. For his business acumen, benevolent vision, and entrepreneurial spirit that is rooted in community investment and civic engagement, Min Tet Toon is recipient of the 2021 Outstanding Immigrant Business Award.
Please welcome Min Tet Toon, owner of Golden Land Food Market, to the stage to receive this year's Outstanding Immigrant Business Award.
Mingalaba. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending this event today. And thank you for my governor, Terry Breasted. Wow, that's amazing. I never got an award in my life before. That's really awesome. I believe that I got an amazing gift from God. Yeah, thank you, God, and gave me blessing. And first, I would like to say thanks to Sherry Branson, who nominated me achieve this award. Also, thanks to the nomination committee and selected board, and Catherine Tan, executive director of the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit. Also, I would like to say thanks to Mrs. San Won and your teams, making a beautiful story of my life, and a nice presentation. And also, a special thanks to Miss Hanny On, but I think she's not here today. But anyway, I would like to say thanks to you and your teams. Ambassador, she was here. Yes, thank you. Your helping and strongly support to the community is very good for the community. Thank you so much. And also, impossible for me to become a business entrepreneur without the support of my family. Especially, thanks to my wife, Loom, and who has been my teammate and my business partner since we started running the business 11 years ago. Without your idea, your creativity, and strongly commitment in our journey, it is impossible for me to stand on this stage today. Thank you, and I love you so much. That's very important. This achievement is a great honor for all the job I have been doing for the immigrant community in my area and my vicinity. I'm very proud of myself, and this award is promote my energy and motivation to take future or challenge in my business. It's also encouraged me to move forward with a better entrepreneurial scale in the future. So your organization and support and spotlight is how much you care and how your organization is helping to the immigrant-owned businesses and their philanthropists work among this community. And also share this award with all the nominees who are working tirelessly for the development and better future in the community in the region. So finally, I would like to say thanks to everybody who joined this ceremony. May God bless you all, and may you have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much, and thank you.
It's time now for the Greater Des Moines Partnership and Immigrant Champion Award, and Meg Schneider from the Greater Des Moines Partnership will be presenting that award. The criteria for this award dates back to, I guess, 2012, actually. The Immigrant Champion Award changed its name to the Karen Evans Immigrant Champion Award. Ms. Evans' earnest and personal commitment to assist individual immigrants epitomizes the legacy between Iowans and first-generation immigrants. This award recognizes an organization or non-immigrant who's dedicated to making a positive impact on the immigrant community. The honoree demonstrates both personal and professional commitments to and advocacy on behalf of immigrants and their families and communities.
Well, good afternoon, and on behalf of Greater Des Moines Partnership, we are so thrilled to be here again today, and really appreciate Ying and her team for all that they do, not just leading up to today, but every day. And to all of the small business owners in the audience, thank you. You are a true inspiration, especially during these times. The partnership is a regional economic and community development organization focusing on central Iowa. And economic development can mean a lot of things, but essentially it means focusing on growing, strengthening, and diversifying the economy here in central Iowa. And we recognize the importance of our global immigrant communities here in our region. As the #2 fastest growing city in immigrant population in the US over the last decade, we know that the future of business owners and talent are coming from all around the world. As a part of our global DSM strategy that we launched nearly 5 years ago, we invite you as small business owners to engage in our supplier diversity and matchmaking efforts as a means to help grow your business. We continue to push on making connections for individuals seeking employment opportunities to our business members and the need to include our immigrant communities into their talent pools. And we continue to push to make this a more welcoming community where you can achieve your dreams. And now, please turn your attention to this video introducing my friend, Supervisor Bob Brownell, the recipient of the Karen Evans Immigrant Champion Award.
Robert Brownell was born in Nebraska and grew up in Iowa. He graduated from Kennedy High School in Cedar Rapids, but it was during the 6 months when he attended Missouri Military Academy in Mexico, Missouri, that he found his love of writing and got his first exposure to people from diverse backgrounds.
Nobody looked at each other as, white, brown, Asian, not Asian. So the Corps of Cadets was pretty closely knit, and I think that helped form my perspectives on race and equality and equity and some of those things.
Bob spent 3 decades working in the transportation industry after graduating from the University of Northern Iowa with a degree in English. Currently serving his 6th term, he was first elected to the Polk County Board of Supervisors in 2000. His service in this capacity is a continuation of an enduring commitment to public service that began in 1985 on the Clive City Council and as the mayor of Clive in 1993.
Bob's a great leader. Between finding the common good and the common denominator in trying to get something done and also breaking down the barriers to get something done, he just has an innate sense to do that.
Married to his college sweetheart, Jenna Jurgensen, they have a son, Kevin, a daughter-in-law, Maria, and grandchildren, Carmen and Oscar, all to whom they are passing down a legacy of compassion, civility, and service. Bob listens deeply to others and uses what he learns to make his community better through innovative collaborations across political subdivisions and all sectors of society.
So Bob is not afraid to let people know where he stands, and you can feel that it's usually addressing the issues of the marginalized and vulnerable people.
Bob's analytical mind and compassionate nature has earned him the respect of the most vulnerable to the most accomplished. Instead of personal gain, he leverages that goodwill and the influence and power of his elected office to bring attention and positive impact to intractable challenges.
He's spent time at a homeless shelter to feel what it may be like, while also realizing that he had an option to go home. So, teach people how to fish, but since you're hungry, I'm gonna give you fish too. While I'm teaching you, But he would personally experience what it's like to be hungry while he's doing that.
You know, he's willing to be vulnerable himself in order to find out what vulnerable people in our community go through.
A person that's actually had some hands-on experience is less likely to be spewing forth the BS that we hear so much from politicians. When I talk about things like refugees and immigrants or food rescue or human trafficking, I think people take it seriously because I do have my hands on it.
Often the conscience of his community, he uses his impressive network and his endless curiosity about what's happening around him to ask the right questions and offer insights to help guide policies and direct resources.
I find Bob in every meeting that I'm at where there's no media, there's nobody really looking to write an article about him. He's not getting recognized necessarily, and sometimes he won't even say he's a county supervisor. When he sits in his seat, it holds a lot of power. So for him to even ask a question about, have you considered what the impact of this is on immigrants and refugees? It's a lot more impactful because people would feel obligated to respond to that.
Fervent in his belief that Iowa's immigrants help fuel the economy by starting businesses and filling important labor shortages, Bob can always be counted on to support the well-being as well as the workforce and entrepreneurial initiatives of first-generation immigrants.
I think one thing that I find remarkable about the refugees and immigrants is they do not adopt a victim mentality. They want to be independent, they want to be self-sufficient, and they want to live on their own, and they want to have a good life here in America. They are the American dream.
A Renaissance man with numerous interests and deep connections that contribute to a rich and meaningful life, Bob is a voracious reader and a published author. With wit, wisdom, humility, and temperance, Bob has demonstrated the skills and temperament to lead during challenging times.
Very humble guy and really willing to listen. That's what we need for immigrant refugee to feel belong. When someone can go out and spread the gospel, he knows the needs and the challenges, and he's able to articulate that with colleagues to make things work.
For inspiring respect and confidence with his exceptional leadership and altruistic public service, as well as his unique ability to create connections and direct resources to propel immigrants and refugees to achieve more, Robert Brownell is the recipient of the 2021 Karen Evans Immigrant Champion Award.
Please welcome Supervisor Brownell to the stage.
Thanks very much. This is very humbling. I want to start off by introducing my family. My wife, Jenna Jurgensen Brownell. Stand up, Jenna. We got married not too long ago. We dated for less than a year and got married, and just had an anniversary last August. Number 50. I think it's going to work. So we'll see how it goes from here. And my very lovely daughter-in-law, Maria, and my granddaughter, Carmen. Stand up, you guys. Attorney at law and partner at Allers, and my son's also an attorney, but he's not here today. There's a theme here. I'm surrounded by lawyers, even on holidays. When San Wong told me I'd won this award, my response was, seriously? It kind of surprised me, to be honest, not because it was so off my radar. In fact, on the contrary, the Karen Evans Award has very much been on my radar. Once I figured out San wasn't punking me, I told her this. I get a lot of awards like this. I have my name on some buildings, even have a baseball complex named after me. It's in Dallas County, but still, it's cool. I appreciate, nothing but love Dallas County if you're out there. I appreciate all the accolades I've ever received. I don't want to sound dismissive, but this award is really, really meaningful to me. I'm so honored. I love my work with the immigrant community, really inspired by them. I guess it shows. It makes me realize that there's something bigger than me at work, and I'm proud to be part of that. One of my best friends, Mike, even weighed in. Here's his very gracious take on all this. Congrats on the award. Your celebrity status keeps improving with age. It's the only thing about you that does or has. He seems nice. Mike lives in Waterloo. Condolences, Mike. Nothing but love for you too, Waterloo. Anyway, I want to thank the two outstanding women that nominated me, Kate Haishu and Manisha Padel. A Nepalese woman and a Korean woman have my back. There's a sentence I never thought had crossed my lips as recently as 5 years ago. Now I say it with pride. But I think both women are quintessential American stories, as are many in this room. But I want to talk a little bit about Manisha. think this story represents something America needs to see and hear. Manisha and I are not on the same political wavelength at all. In fact, the day I met her, we were both part of a small group meeting at the Greater Des Moines Partnership. Fair enough, the meeting was about immigrants and refugees. Manisha starts off with, we have to remember we're all having this meeting on stolen land. This building was built on stolen land. I hope you all realize that. I'm like, wow, I've only known this woman for less than 30 seconds. She's already wearing me out. After listening to that, I said to myself, I'm going to press the mute button on this chick. And so I did. But then something weird happened. We got to know each other. I saw her passion, her commitment, and she was so authentic and so giving and so freaking funny. Manisha is really, really funny. Why does that mean anything? Well, you want to know how you can tell who's an extremist? No sense of humor, zilch, none. They don't have it. They'll tell you what's funny and what jokes you can laugh at, but they really have no clue. So Manisha and I got to know each other and got to laugh together, and you know what happened? The mute button got turned off. I started to listen to her, and she started listening to me. I think people that can laugh together can work together, and if you can work together, you can accomplish amazing things. And now we're good, solid friends. I'm proud of that too, because we both realize we're part of something bigger than us. Manisha is the equity officer of the city of Des Moines. Kate is the equity officer for a large bank. In my Twitterverse view, I have a very dim view of equity officers. In my macro take, they separate us and divide us. But the only two equity officers I actually know, I love. Isn't that just a joke? These two bring people together and try to make the world a better place. Maybe my Twitterverse version of equity officers is a little inaccurate. Look below the surface. Stolen land, hey, my ancestors trace back to England. What am I going to say? I hate it when she's kind of right. I've lived in my house for almost over 40 years now, and I've been thinking lately a little bit about when I move out, how much stuff I'm going to have to throw away. Can you imagine accumulating stuff over 40 years? Some of you move more often than that. About everybody does, I think, except me and my wife. But at some point, I'll have to start throwing stuff away. And a lot of those awards I talked about, they'll suffer the same fate as the debris that we've collected all our lives. They'll end up in the dumpster, but not this one. This one I'll carry with me for a long time. Thank you so much.
The Community CPA and Immigrant Spirit Award will be presented next. Ying Sa, from the CEO of Community CPA, will be making that honor or having that honor. I want to let you know a little bit about the Spirit Award. It recognizes a first-generation immigrant who has demonstrated a lifelong commitment to professional business excellence and altruistic pursuits. The honorees' accomplishments and contributions have broad and substantial positive impact on the immigrant and the larger community.
Immigrant Spirit Award is a very special award to my heart. Every time we talk about spirit, it is not touchable. It cannot be defined. It is an air in the room. It is the way you breathe your breath. So immigrant spirit is hardworking, creativity, persuasion for a good life, and also selfless help others. That public servant spirit in immigrant, it is in full display with Joe Gonzalez. This is why Community CPA is here to sponsor this award. Talking about public servant, for every successful business, we have employees who are public servant. They let go their ego and they're working with you. Business entrepreneurs need to recognize that spirit. Look at Joe Gonzalez. He did not run Tesla. He did not go to open up a restaurant. He was in the police department, worked years and years, all his life, to help people like us. He is the model for Hispanic-speaking police officer to be successful in that department, to help people driving on the street and having traumatizing experience outside of their home or inside of their home. Those are the people we want to recognize and know that it is an Immigrant Spirit Award, lifetime award, and I want every immigrant in this room to commit secretively to yourself. You are going to help others. You are going to live a life regardless you are entrepreneurs or not. But you can still shine as an Immigrant Entrepreneur Award recipient, just like Joe Gonzalez. Now, let me draw your attention to that video clips we made. In just few minutes, we're trying to tell you this lifetime story of an amazing immigrant. And he was born in Mexico and coming here at 5 years old. But in his heart, it is all about us. And he reminded me a lot about Terry Branstad, our long-lasting governor, a true public servant. Let's welcome the video, and let's see Joe come to the stage right after the video.
Joe Gonzalez was born in Michoacan, Mexico, and migrated to Des Moines, Iowa with his family in 1957 at the age of 5.
At an early age, I ended up being the translator. The only time I liked it and it came in handy was at school conferences.
A class on criminal justice he took in high school ignited a passion in Joe that would lead to a distinguished career.
You could tell he really cared. He was out there to make a difference. In this line of work, goodwill and public trust are very valuable. They're also very fragile. I mean, you have to hold them with a steady hand. Joe has certainly made a lot of deposits in the public trust and goodwill.
As one of the first Latinos hired by the Des Moines Police Department, Joe paved the way for other people of color to become police officers.
I was blessed and honored to kind of work along a lot of great people in neighborhoods.
He was instrumental in the creation of the Hispanic Outreach Neighborhood Resource Advocate, or HONRA program, which became a model for police departments around the country.
And he did an incredible job not only connecting and being that liaison with the police department, but also recruiting. And we continue to benefit from that today.
The respect he garners has had a profound influence on the training, the culture, and the very essence of DMPD.
He evolved into the profession through the ranks to a command rank. And he always looked at those promotions as an opportunity to have more impact, to have more influence.
He will treat everyone with the utmost respect, and he will treat them equally, make them feel very important. He really cares about others and will go the extra mile for anybody.
This country has given me a lot, so I want to give back. I want to give back in civic way, you know, so I want to give back by helping and being involved and engaged with a lot of things.
With a presence that elevates every room, Joe is often sought for his wisdom, influence, and generosity.
The Chrysalis Foundation is a local public charity supporting all of the needs of girls and women. Joe Gonzalez was one of the first men to come on the board. We believed that Joe could understand what the concerns were for girls and women in this community and how men and boys could respond to those needs.
These experiences informed his work and decisions and instilled in him both a profound dedication to the rule of law and an appreciation for diverse perspectives and experiences.
Joe's ability to be a good leader is because he's a good listener.
Anyone from any culture, any background, just would love to have in their midst, and everyone embraces him, not just Latinos, but people of all walks of life.
When Joe was gravely injured in a tragic accident, all who knew him held their collective breath in prayer.
It was very impactful and very meaningful, you know, to have so many people be supportive so that I could get through that fight and that struggle and heal and get better. I learned from that I never ever want to go through a day without letting people know how much I care or giving them a smile.
Within a year after a valiant return to work, he was tapped to take over the Latino Heritage Festival as its second executive director.
When you believe in your culture and your history and you want to make sure that that's not lost, that you know that this is a celebration, an event that is very special to us and to our community.
Under Joe's leadership, the festival expanded in scope and scale to include more sponsors, represent more countries, involve more volunteers, and attract more participants.
My dream for the event is just to kind of continue to grow it, to continue to make it as good as we can, so that everybody feels that they're, included in the whole thing.
In his professional and personal life, as well as through his generous volunteer work, Joe mentors young people to become the best versions of themselves.
There are a lot of young officers that watched Joe grow and watched him go about his business every single day. That'll have a lasting impact on our organization.
He's a great role model, and when I've been around his children, you can see that, just the way they look at him and they look up to him and how they respond to him. He inspires people to thrive and to better themselves.
For a lifetime of service that includes his transformative contributions to law enforcement that fosters safety and well-being in all communities, as well as an illustrious second act that elevates the understanding of and opportunities for Latino communities, Joe Gonzalez is the recipient of the 2021 Immigrant Spirit Award.
Let's welcome our very own 2021 Immigrant Spirit Award winner, Joe Gonzalez.
I get to talk after Bob. I don't think anybody can top that, but Bob, I'm going to try, all right? First of all, San, Catherine, Ying Sol, thank you so very much. Ambassador Branstad, Supervisor Ronell, thank you so much for this. As I stand here humbly and proud to be in your presence, the presence of people that have done the same thing, same struggles, immigrants, refugees that come to this country to build a better life, to try to succeed. This country gave me a lot of opportunities. When I came here, I knew that in a young age that I would have to give back for a country that gave me so much. My civic duty and wanting to serve the community came from my parents. All your parents, any of you that come from other countries, you know how supportive the parents were, the struggles, the things that they wanted you to succeed in. And so, what a fantastic journey this has been for me. Now, I'm not as young looking as Bob or anybody else here. He's kind of weathered the time pretty darn good. And so I'm proud to say that I've worked with Bob and a few other people that are in this room. It's always a great relationship. We have so many people here. My successes have come because I've surrounded myself with so many people here in this community that have been very successful, that have done a lot of great things. And so that's how we get the success, by surrounding ourselves with that. And then also to highlight the contributions, the investments from the immigrants and refugees that make this city, this state, and this country so great. I'm very honored. This is very humbling. Terry Hernandez, who nominated me, I don't know if she's here today or not. I didn't see her, but thank you so very much. This community continues to be better and better. We're growing, as you mentioned in the partnership. You know, we have a lot of great things going here. And the reason we have a lot of great things going here is because of each and every one of you that are here with your families, everything that you give to our communities. This is fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit Award recipients, a hand one more time.